Hey friends, I've been seeing a lot of Sunbreaker Titans out in the wild, and I wanted to give my take. Overall, I do think the class is currently cope when compared to Sentinel Titan, 735, 820. So like right there, you're already losing. Even if Burning Maul can beat Bubble, Bubble has multiple ways to deal with Burning Maul. Suppressor, Shield Bash, etc. Just using the Bubble to lure him out is good enough. So that's the first thing, is Bubble's just winning. The next part. Bubble has controlled demolition, which all three of the Titans can use with Scatternade to get their health back in the gunfights. And if they really wanted to, they can menu to Suppressor Nade to deal with your super. Then we have Striker Titan. 2 lightning grenades that deal with barricades. I'll put the good melee on. Knockout to break the networking laws, teleport, and defeat your opponent that way. We call it Titan Magic. That's pretty much it. Those two are just better. But if you still want to cope on this one, you can definitely beat good players with this. Just because it's a lower tier Titan class doesn't mean it's unusable. It's just not the most optimal option. And so, let's talk about what Lorelei brings to the table. I think this is the best exotic to use here. There is a case to be made for Dune Marchers and Shoulder Charge, or maybe Peregrine Greaves going for explosions. There's a case to be made for Precious Scars. But when I really stop and think about it, this is the one exotic that handles Bubble from neutral. And I have done that a couple times in the past streams. Let's say Bubble drops on the middle of the capture point. You want to meet them there, preferably with Shoulder Charge, not Throwing Hammer. Get your barricade down in the center, and look, a Sunspot can cook them. That's it. That's why we use this exotic. So you do not need to use conditional finality at all, which means it now opens up 2 options. Option number 1 is Hawkmoon. Option number 2 is Teraba, and you can go Peacekeepers with Teraba. You don't have to stay locked to Lorelei. So I like Hawkmoon because the whole theme of this exotic is using your barricade to drop a Sunspot to heal so that you can live to see the Hawkmoon perk. And you might be saying, well, why not Healing Grenade? In solo play, that makes so much sense. But when you start playing with other Titans who are mirroring this setup or bringing Precious Scars, suddenly Soul Invictus starts to matter. Any amount of Scorch on your opponent, this is from my Grenade, this is from my Consecration melee, Throwing Hammer, Hammer Strike, Incandescent weapons. I'm sure it's around here somewhere. Incandescent weapons? Any of the above. Even Tommy's Matchbook does it. Jotun has it. Jotun has a Catalyst. Any amount of Scorch. If you pick up the kill, a Sunspot drops, and you do get the Lorelei benefit from it, which means you start healing. Since this handles Bubble on neutral and provides healing, I think this is the best way to play Sunbreaker, but the best Sunbreaker is still worse than your strongest Synthosep Striker Titan or your standard PK Bubble. It's just, it ain't it in my opinion. But if you still want to go against that warning because you're bored, that's the spice of life, right? Variety in your games, you can still win with this. I'm going to recommend Consecration if you team, but if you're solo, stay away from this. This is so buggy. I'm going to show you some bugs right now. I'm going to edit it in. So check this out. I'm going to slide and punch. It's fine. I can do that. I'm going to slide, shoot, and punch. It's fine. I can do that. Let me throw my hammer now. Now I'm going to try the same thing again. Slide and punch. Nope. You can even see the red on the bottom left of the screen. Nope. Now we're going to pick up our hammer. Now I can punch again. I'm going to throw my hammer. Now, again, same thing. Nothing happens until you finish the slide. So that bug leeches through. Why did they make that bug? So you cannot do this. You cannot slide Consecration after shooting. If I don't shoot, that's what it looks like. And you can only use half of that if you really want to. You don't have to use the second slam. Okay, so that same melee slide bug persists in your super. Check this out. Now if I slide, I cannot use the right trigger attack until it's gone. The final reason is if you have Consecration, you would have to put Roaring Flames there to be able to slide, shoot, and throw the hammer. Especially with your shotgun. So what I'm going to suggest is I think Sunbreaker needs a 4th aspect desperately. Consecration is super buggy. You try to do it upstairs, the art team will get you. Okay, now that we're back, we know Consecration is a liability, but if you did want to run it in teams, all you're doing is just fishing for that first thermite. Do not slam down. You only want to use half of your hammer, and then have your teammates refill your hammer. And it should keep all 3 of you radiant. Note that you cannot slide out and use the melee like you could in the past. You have to just bait for it and hold a directional key to move that direction. And yes, you can fade backwards with this. There we go. There's the backward fade. I think controller's better for throwing hammer if you were going to go that route. You can sort of use it like a way to offset AE, especially if you're using Ace of Spades. Just shoot them, throw the hammer. I don't have that type of dexterity on controller right now, but it genuinely registers better on controller. So it is worth mentioning with your shotgun. But if you're going to do the slide, shoot, throw a hammer, you have to have Roaring Flames on. So let's wait for the abilities to recharge. As far as mods go, while I wait for them to recharge, Hawkmoon Loader, Hawkmoon Holster, Unflinchings, etc. Unlike Arc Titan, you don't have to use solar weapons, not even for harmonic targeting. I think I would be winning more games if I was using a slug the entire time. Incandescent is kind of cope because it has to have a lot of things lined up for it to work, whereas using arc weapons can proc amplified just for getting arc weapon kills. That's insane. Solar doesn't have some inherent synergy. It has an activator perk. Same with Void. Destabilizing rounds, that's what they're called. Yeah, and then Solar has Incandescent. So do not get tunnel vision on having to use solar weapons. Use anything you want. Oh no, the game ended. This is all I wanted to show you. Shoot, throw the hammer. Shoot, throw the hammer. You can't do that if you have Consecration equipped. These are the fragments I decided to choose. Mercy and Searing. These are like an auto pick. They're so strong. Picking up the Fire Sprite grants melee energy. You also get grenade energy for the Fire Sprite too. It'll pop up somewhere around here. There it is. Mercy, you heal you res a teammate, you get restoration. You get damaged, you drop a sunspot. You drop the barricade, you drop a sunspot. That equals restoration. You could use heal clip incandescent weapons, and so forth. And in a checkmate style meta, this is where you're going to start seeing more of this. If you stand in the Lorelei sunspot, you get your abilities back faster, which is offsetting those checkmate changes. If you have teammates that can refill your hammer, you are offsetting those checkmate changes. Then I have Singeing. Your class ability recharges faster when you scorch targets. So if you play your whole team as Lorelei Titans, etc., and you're scorching targets, you're getting cleanup kills with sunspots and whatnot, you should have more barricades than a Void Titan team. And then finally, Torches, so that if I was using like Ace of Spades or something, I had Memento Mori, I can fish for 2 taps after using the Consecration Thermite. Now let's talk grenade choice. You might be thinking it's cope for Swarm. I'm gonna disagree on that one. Good players have a firebolt thrown at them and they just slide away. They break line of sight. Trip Mine, I like the most, but the cooldown is long. Look at the cooldown difference. Thermite does something functionally similar to Swarm Nade, but players just jump over it most of the time. Fusion Nade is gonna be a little nerfed in the checkmate meta where you can't just shoot them in the head and throw a Fusion Nade, and that's wraps. You can do that on the enhanced version on Dawnblade. Incendiary Nade, you might be saying, oh, go for Ignitions with Consecration. Unfortunately, checkmate kind of puts those in check where you pretty much have to hit the entire team and go for the triple. No more getting singles with Incendiary. So I also don't think that's the one. Healing Nade is very valid. That's a good choice. And then we have Swarm Nade, which is what I landed on. It's a zoning tool that can very easily apply just a little bit of Scorch, which makes it easy to proc Soul Invictus. So I hope that made sense as to like my take on the rise of Sunbreaker Titans. I don't think it is as competitive as Bubble and Striker. In fact, I think if we were doing the match v match of 2 bubbles and 1 missile versus 2 bubbles and 1 Sunbreaker, maybe 1 bubble, 2 Sunbreakers, 1 of each, I think the winning combination is still 2 bubbles, 1 Striker. It's tried and true for a reason. Personally, when I'm playing at my most competitive, I don't even play Titan anymore. I play Omni Triple Rat King because I think that has a much higher ceiling when you consider all the radar manip and smoke tricks and suppresses and all the above. Doesn't mean it's easier, so I'm still going to lose, but if I was just on a desert island with nothing better to do than to run scrims and competitive Destiny, I think I'm betting on that Rat King strategy. So I'm just going to keep chipping away and getting better at it, even if I'm not the best. Hope this makes sense. Hope you enjoy the gameplay. This was a pain to play against hard meta, so hope you appreciate it. Wait, this is good for me. I want to show this. We're gonna frame by frame that one. Oh, huge plus 40 and resto. Art team. Not that that would have mattered, but... Nice. I'll do it again. Oh, I will definitely do it again. Oh, I'll break both of those.
We like literally kept it just.
Could you give me Cloud Strike? I swear. Use your nade. This is a better choice. Crazy how I just, have that sixth sense. Alright, Meltdown. Playing Sniper Coin Flip Edition. Roulette Wheel. How many snipers? 0. 0. 0. Okay, we got a game on our hands. This throwing hammer has to hit something. There it goes. My reasoning is because surely they're still weak, right? And if the sunspot drops, that's potentially the triple. So, no more shotgun ammo. You just have to do it that way. It's worth losing the hammer to guarantee the round. Oh, bad movement. I think I'm stuck. Oh, there it goes out. Awesome. Awesome. I love worrying about snipers now. Sniper RNG. Y'all couldn't play one fucking round. Are we good? Trials should be lock loadouts. You cannot change my mind. Not even a little bit. RNG. Another sniper. Better hit it. I showed him a thing or two. I'm not gonna lie, I was drinking a beer right there and he just like, he fell off the map.